Let's do a quick review of the past tense. I will give you a sentence with a blank space for the verb. Think about, should we use simple past or past progressive, past continuous? Here's the sentence. That's right, she opened the door and turned on the lights. Opened and turned. The sound is just a D, and we use simple past because this is a sequence of things that somebody did in the past. Something happened. Should we say broke or were breaking? Yeah, they broke because to break something is a very short action. It's fast. I was going or I went. The action is complete. You went to Paris. There is a specific year. It's an action. It's complete. I had or I was having. It should be simple past. Why? Because to have is a state verb, a stative verb. It cannot be continuous in simple or past. There's some new ones. Simple past or continuous? It should be simple past because to surprise somebody is a very short action. Who won or who was winning? It should be simple past because to win is, again, it's a very short action. Here's another clue. It says a specific year. In that year, the action is done, it's completed. Who won the World Cup? Let's see. Love is the verb. We have a time when I was a kid. Notice that this is a complex sentence. We have an independent clause and a dependent clause. Love or was loving? Well, to love something is a stative verb. It should never be progressive, should never be continuous. So simple past, I loved. Saw or we were seeing? Well, again, we've got a time after the rain. That's a specific time. The action is completed. It did not happen for that long, and it's a complete action at a specific time. Simple past. We have a negative here. We were not cleaning or we did not clean. We were not cleaning or we did not clean. Well, I see the word yet. This gives me the emotion, the feeling that I'm late, that I didn't do it. I should have done it, but I didn't do it. We didn't clean. Didn't clean. Some more sentences. Broke. That's right. It should be simple past because, first of all, to break something is a very fast action, but also I have a specific time when I washed it. Notice this is a complex sentence. This is a dependent clause. Ouch! Just means it was almost now, but it was in the past. But it was so close, almost now. How long does it take to cut your finger? Yes, this is a very short action. So I have a time word, and I have the knowledge. This is a short action, simple past. I cut. Oh, it's irregular. What was he doing? What was he doing? I can mirror the question tense. He was listening to music. The question is asking, what was he doing for a longer time? He was listening to music. Simple past or progressive? I have a specific time when I was 15. Dependent. I got fired. Again, it takes a very short moment. Your boss will just say, you are fired, and it's complete. This one is very interesting. We relax. Should it be relaxed? We relaxed when we heard the news. That means that it was a short action and it was complete. You told me the news and I relaxed. I changed and the action was complete. Okay, that works. That's a good meaning. But I could also say, what were we doing when we heard the news? We were relaxing. So both tenses work. but the meaning will change a little bit. I lived with my cousin in 2005, or I was living with my cousin. Well, to live is not a state. It's actually considered an action, to live with somebody. I have a time word. Now, if I want to emphasize this was in the past and the action is complete, I would say I lived with my cousin. And my meaning is pretty clear. I don't live with my cousin now. The action is complete in the past. But if I don't want to talk about the present, I don't want to say the action is complete, I could say I was living with my cousin in 2005. And then maybe I'm still living with them now, maybe I'm not. So the grammar of both is good. They will have slightly different meanings. At 1 o'clock yesterday afternoon. Okay, this is yesterday at this specific time. The children ate or were eating. Now, if I want to emphasize that the action was complete at this specific time, I don't think it really makes sense. At 1 o'clock, they ate lunch. At a point in time, that means like for 1 minute they did it and it was complete. I don't think that works. I think at this specific time they were eating lunch, because I think it takes about at least half an hour to eat your lunch. It takes time. I prefer progressive continuous tense here. Sell or they were selling. Again, this is a type of action that you do it and it's completed in a short time. So simple past is a better choice. Similar with tell. If I want to emphasize, this is action that was completed. He told me an interesting story. I heard the story from beginning to end. It's done. It's completed in the past. There's no time word, so it's not really clear when it happened, but it's completed. On the other hand, if I say, he was telling me, well, that probably means he was talking to me, he was telling me a story, and you have interrupted. He's not done yet. The grammar does not prove that he's not finished telling me a story, but I think it's true. This one, when you called, that's a specific time in the past. You called me. What was I doing? I was playing a game at that time. On the other hand, if you try to say, I played a game when you called, that means that you called me and then I played again. Maybe because I didn't want to talk to you. I played a game because you called. Maybe. But it makes more sense to use continuous. I was playing a game when you called. I walked the dog when I fell down. This one, it's not so clear. Does it make sense? I think if we say simple past at the same time, I walked the dog when I fell down, it seems to mean that the reason that I fell down is I walked the dog. I don't think it's true. I think that you were walking the dog, a longer action, and then you fell down, shorter action. The team played well at first. The team was playing well at first. I think they both work, and they both mean about the same thing. Now, why at some times the meaning would change if we use simple past or past progressive? Why does it change? And in this sentence, it means about the same. Well, it's because of the meaning of play. To play is a longer action. It's an action that can be completed. They played well at first. That means that they played well and then they stopped playing well. The action was completed. Or you could emphasize they were playing well at first, and you could emphasize it's a longer action. Playing is a longer action. So they both mean about the same thing, but if you want to emphasize they played well and then it ended, use simple past. If you want to emphasize the action, the long action, use continuous. But this this verb to lose, like to win, it takes just 1 second. The game is over. The whistle of the referee blows. The game is over and one team has won. It is so short. So it must be simple past. At midnight, what were you doing at midnight? If you use simple past, it would mean at midnight, I fell asleep. Suddenly, at that moment, I fell asleep. I don't think that's what this means, especially with this adverb deeply. Continuous is better here. I was sleeping deeply. That's the end. We've seen a lot of different cases, and you can see that choosing the right form, should we use simple, should we use continuous, depends on, is the action long or short? Is the action completed? Do you want to emphasize that it was a longer ongoing action? Do you want to compare 2 times? Is there a time word? The key to it all is what the verb means influences the grammar. I hope this is helpful.